So what's like an average number for a guy to have?
Like 5 to 8. I think that's about
5 to
average.
8 is low. That's not
Really low.
promiscuous.
Yeah, I know, but
over your whole life.
But a lot of guys, that's where they sit. Yeah.
But like 5 to 8.
You
for
asked
a
what the
girl
average
a
is. That's
lot?
about the average. Yeah.
Like legit, that's a fact.
Well, most like you'd be surprised to know that most guys are out there at the moment get 0 sexual attention. Yeah. A lot of guys in their 20s even have been celibate for a whole year. A big percentage of people. So that would be about the average.
I'm just really curious, and I want to ask like all the girls here. It's like the mindset that you guys have. Is that normal here, or is that like? Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah, like in
Okay.
America. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to know that because it seems so. Like you said, like you think we're brainwashed, but it's funny because I think we think the same thing about you guys.
Well,
and
I
then
mean,
I
You're
you
feel
from
like,
Australia,
Yeah.
and you kind
Australia,
of
it's
have
pretty
this-
bad too, in terms of like the liberal sort of mindset, happy wife, happy life type stuff. But you just have to look at the fruits of it, and I think that there is an objective truth about this. It's that people who have lower body counts going into marriage are much more likely to have a long and successful marriage.
it's just
Especially
fascinating
on the
that
woman's
that's so
part.
important.
Well, do you think it's
To-
important when you're going into spending the rest of your life with somebody and having them mother your children that you should be looking into these things?
Absolutely not. No, I don't mind
But what
if
if there's
my guy
empirical-
is slept with 10 or
I'm
1,000.
speaking
women.
more as a guy looking into the past of a woman.
I've never been asked about body count or anything like that, so it's just very fascinating to hear that side of things.
Well, like I said before, you can actually look at the fruits of it, and you can. This is actually borne out by stats as well to show that women who have a higher body count are much more likely to get divorced, and so they make for bad partners. So guys need to be looking into this stuff. If you want to have a logical analysis of the person that you're about to spend your life with,
Sleeping with people does not make you any type of worse
Do you think if you-
relationship
Erroneous!
material.
do you think that if you
Erroneous.
sleep with 1,000 people in a year, that makes you a worse partner?
That I think it actually says nothing about you except that your libido might be quite high. Otherwise, you wouldn't
I'd
be.
say that would make you a total whore if you sleep with 1,000 people in a year. And it says a lot about your character. It says a lot about how you value yourself. And it would say a lot about what kind of a partner you'd be as well. What kind of a wife you'd be.
Okay.
And how you value sex. Because sex is actually important. It's not just something that we can do and just never think about
Yeah,
again.
but it's so
especially
human.
for
It's so
women.
natural. So I don't see why it would
You think
matter.
it's natural to have sex with lots of different people?
Oh yeah, that's where we come from. So yeah,
Wait, so do you think body count doesn't matter?
absolutely not. Does not matter at all.
What's your body count?
I don't know. I knew you were going to ask this question. I thought about it, but I have no idea. I never
Well,
counted.
I
it.
don't need like an exact 53. I don't need an exact number. Give us a range.
I don't know. I'd say 50 if I have to guess.
More than 100?
No, I don't think so. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Well, at
you
least to
don't,
me.
you don't care about body count, right?
Yeah, I don't.
You don't care about the man who's slept with.
I prefer
actually
a
do
man
think-
who has
I think
more.
a lot of women, like if they knew that the man slept with like 10,000 women, they'd maybe get a bit of an ick.
No, I prefer a guy who slept with more women because then they know what they're doing and they're experienced. So I actually prefer that.
Are they?
Are they more experienced? Or what is your question?
Well, I don't know. I don't get this whole like, you need to sleep with a lot of people to either become good at sex or get experienced at sex. You could actually make the argument
It's
that
true.
a woman who's had, for example, 20 one-night stands, and that's it, versus a woman who's had 1 or 2 boyfriends and has slept with them dozens or hundreds of times.
Yeah, everybody is different.
She's
though.
probably going to be better in bed than the woman who's had 20, 30, 40, 50 one-night stands.
That's not true.
It's not true?
No, it's not true.
But
Everybody is different, and also the communication style is different. Some people have
You're
fetishes,
right.
some people
But I
don't.
could just use that same argument. You said everybody's different. You're right. So the woman who's had one boyfriend who's had sex with him a ton, she is different. She's going to be better in bed than the girl who slept with 20 men one time each.
I think it depends what you mean by better in bed, though. I don't think that girls who are really promiscuous are good in bed. I find that they're actually a lot worse. depends what you want by sex, and it's kind of unattractive when a girl's really promiscuous and she's just there to get her rocks off, and it doesn't really mean anything to her. It's not this important thing, because if it's really important and it's really special for her, then that's actually a very attractive thing. But if she's just there to sort of have that's kind of gross.
Okay. Yeah, that's just crazy
Well,
to me.
there's also a really big differential here between sexual performance between men and women. You could make the argument that a man who's sexually experienced is going to be better in bed. I'm not sure if this equally applies to women, though. First off, typically women are going, unless the woman takes on a more dominant role in the sexual encounter, I would argue that so long as a woman is open-minded and enthusiastic, that's all it takes to have good sex with her. I'm not so sure if a woman's encountering a male virgin that she's going to have amazing sex guaranteed with a male virgin. But a man who has some degree of experience in the bedroom can take an inexperienced woman when it comes to sex, or even a woman who has no experience, and have amazing sex with her.
I think feeling has a lot to do with it, but
Wait, feeling?
yeah, like the passion you put into it, like when meeting with
No,
someone.
she could even be a little nervous or shy.
That's gonna be bad.
No,
I
But if
disagree.
that's the
Not at
first
all.
time,
Disagree.
then
That's not the case. Not the case at all. If she's nervous and shy and it means a lot to her, then that's attractive, because she hasn't given it out to a bunch of different guys.
is it like a kind of like a holy grail for you, kind of?
Let's kind of think about it like a golden ticket, You don't
All
want to
right. Yeah, makes
giving the
sense.
golden ticket away to everyone. And if it means a lot to her, that's a very attractive thing. And if she's passionate enough about you, if it's a big deal for her, it's a good thing. If
And
it's
also-
just nothing
yeah.
for her, that's really unattractive.
Also, what is actually wrong with something being special to somebody? Like, as a girl, do you really want to be number 130? Really? Like, you're just 132.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Okay, well, you're an outlier. I feel like most women, look, maybe you want a guy with a bit more sexual experience, whatever, maybe you don't, doesn't really matter. Don't you still, perhaps in the relationship, want to be special to him? And then men, we want to be special to you.
Yeah.
I don't want to be number 57.
But being special has
I don't want
nothing
to be number 57.
being special has nothing to do with sex. I see that very separately.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I think that's a clash here.
Well,
Do you think
for
sex
me, like,
is a
having
special
sex
thing?
having sex, I said it on Dutch television. Having sex is the same as going to a theme park for me. You go out, you have fun, and then you go back home.
What is this, fucking Six Flags?
I'd say
Six cocks? What the
that's
fuck?
yeah, but like I
I
think
stand by that.
most guys who are self-respecting would look at that and think, oh, you're just completely desensitized to sex, and that's a very unattractive thing, to be desensitized like that.
All right, yeah. I understand where you're coming from now, more than what I did. Like the golden ticket, yeah, that makes sense.
Also, sex is not like a complicated procedure. Like, it's not this complicated operation,
Yeah, that's why
You know
I
what
say
I mean?
you go, have
I don't
fun, and then it's done, and then so that's why, yeah, for me,
But like, you're saying like the quality of the sex. Like, oh, if she hasn't 30 guys, then the sex is going to be really bad with her. I mean, the reality is, though, first off, women look to men to be leaders and to be dominant. Not always. Some people like different kind of dynamics in a relationship. But as a guy, if you know what you're doing in bed, you can take a girl who's never had sex and have really good sex with her if you know how to lead sexually, right? I don't know if this is the case for women. I don't think women would be turned on by having to teach a guy how to f them, so there's a differential there. But as a guy, I would have no problem, like, helping the woman along if she's not that sexually experienced. In fact, there could be some, like, excitement component to that. It's like the girl who's like, I've never done this before, and she like immediately like Gluck 9000 or whatever. It's like, hold up, what the fuck? You never done this before? Hold on just a second. But
But do you think it's cute? Is that also a factor in it?
What do
When
you
she's
mean?
like a little shy and
Sorry.
doesn't really know what's
I do think that there is something attractive about that. Yeah.
And it also just shows morals and virtue as well, if it's something that you take seriously. And then if you take something really seriously, it's really important to you, and then you give that to somebody, it shows that they're giving you something really important and means a lot to them. means more than just having just random, bodies whacking together. So,
Also, I don't know if it's like the same for women, but like, let's say she is not the. Again, though, if you're a guy and you know what you're doing, you can go ahead and first time having sex with a girl, you can have good sex with her. You can continue having really good sex with her, even if she's a virgin, even if she's unexperienced. If you know how to lead and you know what you're doing, and you know how to be even like a percentage, I guess, to some degree dominant or leading in the bedroom. But shit, I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Something about like experience or whatever, being good in bed. Kind of slipped my mind. What I was going to say was, maybe it's a deal breaker for a girl, like if a guy is bad in bed the first time. Like, I would give a girl a lot of leeway, especially if she genuinely was inexperienced. I'd be like, hey, I care more about just the sex with you. This is something we can work on. If it takes a couple weeks, months, whatever. Like, I'm going to be spending hours hanging out with you. We're going to, like, do things besides just sex. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
Once
I
you've-
don't care at all if she's. I'd much prefer if she's really inexperienced. Like that. That's much better, for sure. Like virgin would be ideal, and then you can just develop together.